Slasher horror movies have given us a huge variety of villains, from the demented to the supernatural. Today, I bring to you a ranked list of the best of the best. Where do your favorites land? Welcome to Fantasy for the Ages, the show where we talk about fantasy, science fiction, horror, and other nerdy things we enjoy. I'm Jim, the father of the father-son duo that bring this show to you today, and I'm glad you're here with me. I'll let you know ahead of time here, this is all about slasher films and the villains they bring to us. If that's not your thing, this is not your episode, and I will not be offended if you jump away. But if you're curious, stick around. Hopefully, though, you came because you've got some favorites. You have ideas and opinions, and you want to see how they match up with what I've got for you today. Whether you agree or disagree, I hope you'll be entertained and like the episode and literally click that thumb to say so and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Thanks. You know, slashers are a unique subgenre of the horror film industry focused on that terrifying killer, the mystery of who it is, and the impossibility of stopping him, her, or it. I've pulled together what I consider the top 20 villains from the many and various horror movies and franchises. To rank them, I scored each of them a 20-point scale, comparing them to each other. So in each of the rankings, someone's 1, someone's 10, someone's 20. Nobody duplicates a score. They're all compared to each other in the 5 following categories. Physical strength. Just how brawny are they? Body count. How many people have they killed, to the best of our ability to figure out? Third category was the number of movie appearances. Also, category 4, bonus powers. First category was strength, but what about the other kinds of things? Do they have supernatural abilities that are going to come into play here? This is the bonus power category. The final one, this is a horror franchise thing. I want to give them points for the sheer terror they are able to generate. Some of these are absolutely horrifying. They're going to have higher scores than the others. Whenever I considered that there was a tie between characters in a category, I used my subjective opinion to decide who got the higher points and who got the lower points. I make it the video, I make it the rules. Now, these scores then all total up to 100 possible points. I use the power of math to create this ranked list. I think it's statistically accurate, and I'm excited to roll out to you the results I have found. I think the one who ends up at the top slot, while very worthy, is going to surprise you. Let's see where they all fall. Couple disclaimers. 1, I'm assuming that you're watching this. If you're watching this episode, you are a fan of slasher films, and most, if not all, of these characters need no introduction. So I will not be spending time explaining all about the movies they appear in and the roles they play and summaries. No, that is not for this episode. I'll tell you basically what franchise they're from, but that's it. If you don't know anything about them, I'll be giving you basically more movies to go search out. Secondly, there are far more than 20 possible slasher villains I could have included on the list. These movies bring us so many delightful and horrific killers. I have used my own subjectivity in deciding who gets to be on the list. There's a few that maybe aren't nearly as strong and powerful as some others that I could have included, but I decided these are the 20 I wanted to talk about and rank. If you think there are other slasher villains that definitely should have been on this top 20 that I passed over for someone else I put on the list, put your thoughts down in the comments and feel free to tell me where they'd fall in the rankings, in your opinion. All right, let's do it. Number 20, we start with Miss Pearl, the villain, the slasher from the movies X and Pearl. There's the scores. Okay, just a normal person, so we're low on the strength. Relatively low body count, although there's some graphic kills in these movies. As I said, just 2 movies. No bonus power. She's just a normal human, though a little twisted. But she is a bit terrifying. I mean, when you see such a degree of mental illness, that is a little terrifying. So Final score is just 10 points. That's the base from which we build. Number 19 is The Angel from the recent Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Knife. If you can't stand It's a Wonderful Life, you should probably come check out this movie. Scores for this one: physical strength, again, it's just a normal person, but definitely stronger than Pearl was. So I give a 4 for this. Body count is a 4. I got like some 27 people that are killed, although because of the way the movie is, some of those deaths are undone. Just a 1 for number of movie appearances, because there is just this one movie, and I don't think there'll be a sequel. Bonus powers, there aren't any. Gets a 2. And for sheer terror, also gets a 2. I mean, you can't tell who it is. Woo! But it's just a frickin' Christmas ornament. 13 is the score. Number 18 is Frank Zito from Maniac. Now, there's 2 versions of this movie. I'm really leaning into the second movie, the remake, which is a far better version than the original that I did also see back in the day. We've got 7 for physical strength, because this is a big, strong guy. Not anything more than just a strong guy, other than, the strength of being a little insane. Body count just gets a 1. Just 1, sorry. Because all we could see is 6 or so people murdered. Number of movie appearances gets a 3. There are 2 movies. I mean, okay, it's a remake, but I'm still giving it some love there. Bonus powers, there aren't any. I gave it a rank of 3. And sheer terror gets a 4. Scarier than some, but just a nasty, twisted guy. Points total, 18. Number 17 on the list is Norman Bates from... Okay, if I have to tell you where Norman Bates is from, you are definitely watching the wrong video. Scores: 5 for physical strength, 3 for body count. I got some 20 murders. 10 for number of movie appearances. It's actually 5 psychos. 7 for bonus powers. There aren't any bonus powers, but, it's got that mom thing going on. And sheer terror, I give him an 8. Okay, a little creepy here. So your final score of 33. Number 16 is The Miner from the My Bloody Valentine franchise. Physical strength, I give a 12. I mean, this is a buff miner. Okay, swing that axe. Body count gets an 11 out of the total 20 possible. 50 plus kills. It's kind of complicated exactly how many, but there's a lot. Number of movie appearances, it gets a 4. There are just 2 movies. Maybe 3. There's that My Bloody Valentine 3D version. Bonus powers, there aren't any. I gave him the 4th slot. And for sheer terror, a 6, because when he shows up, it's terrifying. 37, final score. Number 15 on the list is Maniac Cop from the Maniac Cop franchise. Physical strength gets an 11 here. He's just about as strong as you can be for a regular person, even though he's a little more than regular as the movies go along. Body count, 42 kills, so 9. That's kind of impressive. Number of movie appearances, there's 3 movies he's in, so he gets a 5 there. Also gets a 5 for bonus powers, because he really doesn't have any bonus powers. He's just kind of really strong and psycho. But sheer terror, I give him the 7, because he is terrifying. He's pretty scary looking. 37 total score. 14th on the list is Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. 15 for physical strength, 6 for body count. I tracked 31 kills. 15 for number of movie appearances. There's 9 different movies with him, so this is a high score. 6 for bonus powers, because he's really just a dude in a leather mask. Disturbing leather. And for sheer terror, actually just a 1. He's not really all that scary. He's just swinging around a chainsaw and got this weird mask. It's the setting the creep comes from. So I just gave him a 1. 43 being the total score. Number 13 is Ghostface from the Scream franchise. 8 for physical strength, just a regular person under that mask. 8 for body count. There's 35 kills we can track in the Scream movies. 12 for the number of movie appearances, because there are 6 of them now. There's still more coming. Bonus powers, 8. There's not really bonus powers. And sheer terror, 10. There's a lot of suspense going on, and you never know when he's going to pop out in that mask, and 10. Total score, 46. Number 12 is Candyman from the Candyman franchise. Physical strength, the lowest score, just a 1. He's a ghost. There is no real physical strength. His power comes from other things. Body count of 28 gives him a score of 5. It's a lot of kills, but there's a lot more who have more kills. He gets an 8 for the number of movie appearances with 4 movies. Bonus powers, 17. He's got all that supernatural stuff going on. That's a strong score. And he can be terrifying, so he gets a 17 on sheer terror as well. Final score, 48. Number 11 is Jigsaw, also known as John Kramer, from the Saw franchise. Physical strength score is a 6. He's just a guy, and in fact, he's a guy who's dying from cancer. Body count, 60 plus, so 13 for that score. The number of movie appearances, he's 17 because he's in 10 different movies in some manner or form. Bonus powers, a 9. He doesn't have supernatural bonus powers, but he's got genius level intellect. And for sheer terror, I give him a 5. Total score of 50. 50, pretty appropriate since we're, at the halfway point on the list. Let's move to the top half. Number 10 is Pumpkinhead from the Pumpkinhead films. A 16 on physical strength because he is very, very strong. He's a supernatural creature. Body count is a 7. I track 32 kills attributed to Pumpkinhead. A 6 for number of movie appearances. There are only 4 movies featuring this creature. Bonus powers is 16 because, again, all that supernatural strength and ability that is attributed to him. Sheer terror, a 9. If you aren't involved in having brought him about, you have nothing to be afraid of. So, a little lower score on the sheer terror, 54, final score. Number 9 is Leprechaun from the Leprechaun film series. Physical strength, a 9. He's just a bloomin' leprechaun. Body count, 50 plus, so he gets that 12 score. 13 for number of movie appearances, because there are 8 movies in the Leprechaun franchise. Some of them are really bad. Bonus powers, 11. He's a magical creature, but he's all caught up in the gold and who's got my gold, and so who he actually can impact is limited. And for sheer terror, 11. He's rather comical at times, but when he is out to get you, he can do some bad stuff. 56, final score. Number 8, Chucky from the Chucky film franchise. Obviously, physical strength is kind of small here, just the 3. He's a doll, people. But he is a doll with a body count of over 100 deaths, so 15 for that score. 14 for number of movies, because he's been in 8 different films. Bonus powers, 12. Okay, he's got magic and voodoo, and he can do stuff. He's an animated doll. And then for sheer terror, again, a 12, because he is one scary toy. You don't want to get on the bad side of Chucky. 56, final score. Notice that was a tie with the Leprechaun, and I gave the win to Chucky. Number 7, Art the Clown from the Terrifier film franchise, and an earlier film in which he was just one part of it. Art the Clown is freaking terrifying, okay? He really is. 13 for physical strength. We've seen him do some incredible feats, and he seems supernaturally able to bounce back from just about any damage. A 10 on body count. He's got 44 deaths attributed to him. A 7 on the movie appearances. There's just 4 movies right now. Probably going to get more. 13 on bonus powers. Again, he seemingly can come back from the dead. And for sheer terror, a 16. Come on. A killer clown, people. A killer clown that you have to worry about. That's a high terror score. 59 for the total. Number 6 is the Tall Man from the Phantasm franchise. This is one creepy dude. Physical strength, a 10. because I mean he's just an old man, but he's much more than an old man, and we know he can tap into powers to do some things when he needs to. Body count, he's the top scorer. He's a 20. Knowing the backstory that we learn through the movies, he is responsible for thousands of deaths, if not perhaps millions, depending on how you attribute it to him from various parallel dimensions. 5 movies, so he gets 11 for number of movie appearances. Bonus powers, a 10. He can do some things that are defy science, defy logic. Sheer terror, a 13. Just where you run into him and the way you run into him, he'll give you chills. So 64 total score. Only 5 left. These are going to be the biggest. Who's number 5? The Creeper from the Jeepers Creepers franchise. Physical strength, 17. This guy is a specimen. Body count, 19. Second highest that we have on record. 1,079 kills. A whole bunch of those we don't actually see, but we see the bodies, we see the faces. We know he's been busy, and with such a long lifespan, there's probably even more. Appearances, he gets the 9. There's been 4 movies so far. Bonus powers, 18. Again, there's some magic involved, a supernatural creature who keeps coming back again and again and again. So, yeah, strong score. And for sheer terror, 14. That first Jeepers Creepers movie was very high on the scare. Well done. Score of 77. Number 4 on my list is Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Physical strength, 14, based on some of the things we see him able to do. 14 for body count, with over 60 kills that we can set at his feet. 16 for movie appearances. There are 9 in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Bonus powers, a 19. There's so much we see him able to do once he sucked you into a dream, and ways he's able to impact the waking world too. And sheer terror, again, a 19. When you are literally afraid to sleep because you know who's waiting for you. Yeah, high on the scare, 82. Justified score. Number 3, Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise. Physical strength, top score. We see him do things nobody else can do. What an unstoppable behemoth. Body count, 16, with 158 kills attributed to him. 19 for appearances. There are 12 movies that have Jason showing up. Not the first one. I mean, maybe in that dream sequence at the end. 15 for powers, his bonus powers. He's supernatural. He can come back from the dead. He seems to be completely unstoppable. And sheer terror also gets the 15. A lot of jump scares in the Friday the 13th movies because Jason just keeps showing up. 85, his score. Number 2, Michael Myers from the Halloween franchise. Physical strength, 19. He's right up there with Jason. Body count, 160. Just 2 more kills than Jason Voorhees. He's a 20 for number of movie appearances. He's got the most, 13 films. Powers, his bonus powers, I give him a 14. Again, there are things he survives he should not be able to survive. Shocking what he can do. And for sheer terror, an 18. He and Jason share a lot of attributes here, but the numbers all add up to give him a slight edge, 88 points. Math does not lie, people. Michael Myers over Jason Voorhees. But who's left? Who gets the number 1 slot? Pinhead from the Hellraiser franchise. Physical strength, 18. Again, he's able to do some pretty amazing things. Body count, over 250 deaths attributed to him. There's probably more. He gets 18 for movie appearances, being in 11 different films. A 20 for the bonus powers. The things we see him do with chains and hooks and These are not for the faint of heart, people. You watch the Hellraiser movies, you're gonna see some stuff. No coming back from that. And for sheer terror, he also gets the 20. Once the Cenobites show up, man, all bets are off and things get really, really bad. This earns Pinhead a 94 on this scientific mathematical computation and bringing home the title of the #1 slasher villain. So there you go. Thoughts? Drop them in the comments. What did I get right? What do you disagree with? Who's missing from this list that should have been here, and where would you put them? I'd love to hear it all. I will respond to anything you put down there. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.